All right, y'all, today we are back with another death battle video. We're checking out Skyrim versus Dark Souls, the Dragonborn versus the Chosen Undead. I have never heard of the Chosen Undead. Let's get into this.
Sponsored by Brandon Yates.
But respectfully,
Brandon Yates.
respectfully, I don't think the Dragonborn is going to win this. Because, like, bro, the Dark Souls characters, they be fighting gods, they be fighting big monsters, like... respectfully, I don't think he's got this. I love the Dovahkiin, but I don't think he got this.
Dragonborn, the dragon-slaying savior of Skyrim.
Resigned to captivity, these two demi-human heroes embrace their destiny.
Demi-human
staring
heroes.
Down the very gods themselves.
And devoured their friggin' souls.
Because these two lack specific canon arsenals and movesets due to being role-playing protagonists, for this death battle, we're giving them everything they have and maxing out all of their stats.
Maxing out all their stats? Oh, nah.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find
Like,
out who
what
will
is
win a
Skyrim
death
respectfully doing against half of the battles in Dark Souls? Like,
Our
Dark Souls is
story
designed to be
begins at the
impossible.
end. The great cities
Skyrim
of
is
old
not.
have collapsed. The heroes are dead or mad, and the golden age is over. Looking out upon their decaying kingdom, everyone would like nothing more than to lay down and die.
Too bad for them. That's the one thing they couldn't do.
The
My
world
God.
has been gripped by the undead curse, turning anyone with a
Undead
mysterious
curse.
dark sign into mindless, violent hollows upon repeated soul-crushing deaths.
But there is
Is that a Dark
prophecy
Souls comic book
of a
they just
chosen
showed?
Undead who will journey to Lordran, the home of the gods, and save the world.
Rotting away in an asylum, all it took was an assist from an unlucky knight and a giant raven before one unlikely
Giant
hero was
raven.
ready to claw their way through their progenitor's forgotten homeland.
And it helps that as long as they can keep their sense of purpose, an undead will always resurrect at the nearest bonfire. Now,
What?
they might slowly lose their memories, their personality, and their sanity, but the curse gives them as much time as they need to get good.
I can't believe there's a
Undead
Dark
are
Souls
unnaturally
comic.
resilient, able to survive being impaled through the chest. They've been chewed, eaten, and digested by what I can only describe as a toilet demon. And they can have their souls torn from their very
What?
bodies, because undead humans don't need their souls to survive.
Just pop some of that spicy Sunny D, and they're good to go. If anything, it seems like they get off
They don't
to
need
it.
their souls to survive.
And speaking of souls,
But, like, the Dragonborn be sucking souls. So how would that work for the... Oh, I can see how this is a lineup now.
they can absorb the souls of their fallen enemies to increase their power.
They're a master with swords, hammers, spears, axes, bows, you name it. And that's without
But
any
Dovahkiin
formal
can't
training.
absorb him
With
if he
the
can
right
live out
stats
his
and
soul,
setup,
so I
they
don't
can
know.
be anything from a cartwheeling assassin to a dragon-smashing tank.
To
You can
the
cartwheel?
giantest of dads. And despite the serious
Ugh.
gothic themes of the series, these weapons can get anime as hell. Smo's Great Hammer is a ginormous mallet the size of a sedan.
Based on its
The
size
size of a
bronze
sedan.
composition, it'd have to weigh over 100 tons. A lot like Goth's
Wow.
great bow, which can shoot pillar-sized arrows and one-shot dragons out of the sky.
Or my favorite, the Moonlight Greatsword.
Moonlight
From the ass of
Greatsword?
The albino dragon and founder of sorcery, Seath the Scaleless. This baby's a universe-hopping anomaly that can fire
What?
powerful sword beams and just looks so cool.
The Chosen Undead has learned magic from the greatest practitioners in the world. They can create shockwaves, form defensive barriers,
What the
reflect
hell?
damage, throw balls of flame, control mines, fire magical crystal spears, turn invisible, and toss bolts of sunlight strong
Yeah, I don't
enough
think a
to
Fusro
peel
Da
the
is gonna
stone
settle
scales
this,
off of
man.
mortal dragons.
So their pool of magic is pretty limited. So if it comes down to it, they can shut off all magic in the vicinity with the miracle Vow of Silence.
Preventing anyone from speaking any spells aloud, including themselves. With this incredible arsenal and judicious attention.
Ain't that like Dovahkiin's thing to shout and he can silence them? I don't know about Dovahkiin, bro. I don't know.
The Chosen Undead was rolling their way.
This
to
might be as
victory.
clear as Doom Guy versus Master Chief. And I love Master Chief, but he was done.
Like they weren't even there.
He was washed.
Sometimes it doesn't work and it's bullshit.
That's just a game mechanic, but great to use when you're panicking.
They've defeated Nido, the god of death, the bed of chaos,
Death
the
itself.
mother of all demon kind, and Calamite, the strongest surviving ancient dragon.
That was when the Chosen Undead was dragged back in time to face the fallen knight Artorias,
Oh,
the
God.
greatest warrior in history. and
What the
not only
hell?
defeat him, but accomplish the greatest feat attributed to Artorias' legend, the destruction of Manus, the father of the abyss that threatened to consume the world.
They've even beaten other chosen undead from alternate worlds, like the best buddy in all gaming, Solaire.
Solaire.
Sun, bro.
Oh, he's that guy that does that?
Freaks. One said to link the fire, and the other said to let it die out, which totally makes sense. Wiz can explain it.
Don't look at me. Dark Souls lore is as notoriously convoluted as the flow of its time stream, which is why we have a true expert in the realms of nerdom to explain it for us. Oh, Jocelyn.
You wouldn't believe how many item descriptions.
Why does she have a
posts, and
infinity
movie
gauntlet back there and a
2013
mannequin?
lore videos I had to watch through for this. It's story time, kids. In the beginning, the world was unformed and static. Then suddenly, the first flame burst to life, and with it, the concepts of heat and cold, life and death, energy and time, light and dark.
Sounds like a mythological Big Bang.
The gods were granted immensely powerful souls from the first flame, but their greatest fear was the soul possessed collectively by the race known as humanity, the Dark Soul. The Skyfather
Dark
Wind
Soul.
feared humanity's
End credits.
immortality, and so sealed their dark souls within them. But as humanity reproduced, the Dark Soul collectively grew and the first flame waned. Turns out humans were naturally undying, or according to the gods' propaganda, undead.
Gasp! It's all a conspiracy. The undead curse was a lie!
Linking the fire means using your very soul as fuel to keep the first flame burning. If an undead champion believes their immortality is a curse, they'll do anything to prevent it, including burning fragments of the Dark Soul to keep the Age of the Gods going.
So you're a pawn in a game played by decrepit gods desperately clinging to power. Well, that's a huge bummer.
They might look
Damn.
like a depressed California raisin, but in order to link the flame, their soul needs to be strong enough to maintain the whole universe and the flow of time for another 1,000 years.
Other similarly powerful undead across time are swift enough to dodge lightning and even light itself. Based on their dodge compared to this beam and the time it took to reach them, they'd be reacting and moving at over 20% the speed of light.
What
At
the
end of
hell?
their quest, they faced down and defeated Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, long hollowed from linking the flame 1,000 years ago. So, which will you choose? Link the fire and prolong the current age, or let it fade until only dark remains?
This is the biggest bummer of them all. Truth is, it never mattered. The cycle just continues age after age, with new heroes replacing the old ones, until the chosen undead was long forgotten.
Until
Wow.
the infinite march of time ground the world to ash. It was never about the happy ending. It didn't exist. It was about the struggle to get there. That's ultimately what gives us meaning.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by
Ow.
Brandon. Capriously.
Of course, Dark Souls has a depressing ass
The throat of the
lore.
Paradise Hey, you on Spotify right away.
Here we go. Here we go with the Skyrim side.
Hey, you're finally awake. Welcome.
Did you try to cross the
frosty
border?
Viking paradise of Skyrim. Visit the quaint Nordic villages. Hike up to the throat of the world. Marvel at the beauty of Blackreach. Hey, what's that in the sky? Why, it's Macho Man Randy
What the
Savage.
fuck?
No, it's Thomas the Tank Engine.
What the hell?
That is a dragon, but not just any.
Imagine they
race.
factor
This
mods
is
into
Alduin,
Dovahkiin's
the world
moveset.
leader, and he's come to burn everything to a cinder.
But fortunately for you, his path of destruction happened to interrupt your impending execution at the hands of those uppity Imperial pigs. That'll be the worst mistake this scaly monster would ever make.
It wouldn't be long before you escaped the destruction of Helgen and defeated a dragon yourself.
Then absorbed its freaking soul.
That could only mean one thing. You are a being born with the blood and soul of a dragon in the body of a Nord, or elf, or Khajiit, or lizard dude destined
I wonder
to
what they're gonna
battle
go with for
Alduin and
Dovahkiin.
Save the world.
In their tongue, you are the Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
In their quest to rid Tamriel of Alduin's dragon army, the Dragonborn became a jack of all trades, master of all.
They learned to be a
Why did they zoom in on the
master
mud
assassin
crowd?
with the Dark Brotherhood, a master sorcerer with the College of Winterhold, a master thief with the Nightingales, a master dragon hunter with the Blades, and a master good boy who's a good boy, that's a good boy.
They even
Master of
fought the
lycanthropy.
Skyrim Civil War
Lycanthropy,
on
I
the
forgot to
side
say
of
it.
Imperial Legion, champions of order.
You mean the Nordic War for Independence on the side of the Stormcloaks?
Those elf-funded Nord supremacists?
Better than those jackbooted Cyrodiil fascists? But what else could I expect from a monster who steals from innocent villagers by sticking buckets over their
Why did he
heads?
put it
They
over
can
their
put
head,
their
bro?
skills to good use with an absolute glut of weaponry. Not just the usuals like daggers, swords, hammers, and axes, but also special weapons given to them by the Daedric princes.
They're
What the
basically
hell?
crazy powerful gods from the plane of existence called Oblivion. From that wascally wabbit Sheogorath, the Dragonborn received the Wabbajack, a staff that casts a completely random spell on its target, from disintegrating them to healing them to turning him into a chicken.
From Meridia, they received
What?
the Dawnbreaker, a holy sword made for burning the undead to ash. That's similar to Oriel's bow, which can shoot fiery arrows that can blot out the sun.
What?
The distance between the
I didn't
Earth
even
and
know
sun
that.
In about 2 seconds, the arrow would have to be moving at over 250 times the speed of light.
Except this isn't Earth and the Sun. This is the planet Nirn, and that's Magnus.
The
According
planet
to the Elder
Nirn?
Scrolls lore master Michael Kirkbride and his in-universe text cosmology, when you look up at the sun, you're actually looking into a dimension of pure magic. Confused yet? I am.
Exact measurements here are difficult to make, but if anything, the distance should be much greater.
Speaking of magic bullshit, the Dragonborn can heal themselves, cast wards and destructive elemental spells, control minds, conjure weapons, and summon lesser Daedra to help them out in a scrap.
They're an especially powerful mage because their mana recovers itself automatically over time. They'll never truly run out of firepower. But as a Dovahkiin, the ability they're most famous for is the Thum,
Shout.
or shout. By speaking the words of the dragon language, they can manifest their will into reality.
Like with the classic Fus Roda, an unrelenting force which can knock
I
your
low-key forgot about the lore behind the Thum, so I'm glad they're talking about it.
neighbors into next week. Or Soul Tear, which removes the soul from your enemy's body and stores it in a cute gem. Like so.
Oh, shit.
Reverse all! Wait, why didn't anything? Oh.
Student loans, man. Something had
Student
to come with down
loans?
payment. With these shouts, the Dragonborn can summon country-spanning storms, slow down time, and
What the
even
hell?
call upon a dragon for help. Odahviing. Dragons may look like scaly reptiles,
Oh,
but
he
in
sold his
reality,
soul?
They're immortal demigods older than time
I'm
itself.
slow.
They're the children of the chief god of Tamriel's pantheon.
The Dragonborn is an unstoppable force of nature. If they happen to take any damage, they can just drink a potion or nosh on a cheese wheel and be good as new. And
Why
they
the
can
cheese
carry up to
wheels?
150 cheeses at once.
What
by
the fuck?
Assuming these abnormally large cheese wheels have an average weight of 70 pounds, we can determine that the Dragonborn can carry up to 10,500 pounds of cheese.
And that makes sense, considering they can match muscles with giants, who are so strong they can shatter the game's spaghetti code to pieces.
The last Dragonborn has battled the vampire Lord
Okay.
Harkon, ended Skyrim's civil war, and defeated the first Dragonborn, Miraak.
And according to the book, The Guardian and the Traitor, Miraak was powerful enough to tear apart the island of Solstheim from Skyrim's mainland.
By comparing
Damn.
the size of various countries on Tamriel's map, we can determine that Solstheim is a landmass nearly 1,500 miles in diameter. In order to move that much land over the course of their fight, Miraak's magical prowess must have output an energy over 300 teratons of TNT.
That's
Damn.
3 times the impact of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Okay,
Not too
damn.
crazy,
N-
but shouts can get
now I
strong
understand
enough
a
to
little bit
shake
more.
the world itself.
It wasn't long before the Dragonborn confronted Alduin in Nord Heaven and put an end to the World Eater once and for all.
In Nord
Yes,
Heaven.
that is literal. By absorbing the souls in Skyrim's afterlife, Alduin was powerful enough to devour everything. Not just the planet of Nirn, but the Kalpa, the entire timeline past, present, and future.
That's the level of unimaginable power the Dragonborn is dealing with here.
Tamriel is no stranger to great heroes across its vast, sprawling history. The Nerevarine, the hero of Kvatch.
My
all
God.
magnificent in their own right.
But when you heard that shout echo through the mountains and the death throes of a
Sorry about that. I'm back. I had to check something.
defeated, you knew it could only be the Dovahkiin. Dovahkiin.
Okay. Nah, these guys are both busted. I don't know who's gonna
Did
win.
You know that I can blow up a galaxy?
Like I didn't know I didn't know the Dark Souls guy and Skyrim guy are kind of fucking insane. Like, I kind of knew the Skyrim guy was insane, but I didn't like remember how insane he was.
Combatants are set to run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Here we go. Oh, we ain't going 8-bit? Okay.
Stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead.
Oh, snap. Just blocked it with his shield. Oh my gosh. Oh. I like how we ain't kind of using like the anime movement. Like they're kind of just fighting like with their sword. The roll, the dead roll. Bro is never gonna hit him. That roll is too powerful. Oh my god. Ooh. Using a bow. Damn. Got his leg. Oh my god. Woo! Took his soul, but that ain't gonna work. He gonna come back. So I guess this battle really is how many times can Dovahkiin take it as this guy keeps losing and coming back from the dead. Woo! Calling the dragon, but he slays dragons. Dragons is just like the B tier boss battles for this guy. You gotta wonder how many souls he loses every time he dies too. Well, actually, when he dies the first time, he has 0. So I guess you have to wonder how many souls he had when he first died. Just how mad is he? Just killed him with one shot. Electricity. Oh my god, we're reaching a battle of godly proportions now. I think now we're finna get that anime movement. The sword. Dawnbreaker, okay. Oh. Oh my god. Energy beams. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's the Vow of Silence shit, right? Or whatever. He done stole his gimmick.
Prepare to die.
Oh no, the Vow of Silence ran out.
Save this world, chosen warrior. Bring the fire.
Damn! Extinguish the flame with the shout?
Be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
What the fuck?
You die!
Oh my god, this boss is bullshit!
This debate was fascinating. The Dragonborn had a wider variety of training, better access to summons, and magic that passively
Well, I'm not even clear on who won. Wait,
generated.
was it Dovahkiin?
As opposed to the chosen undead's limited pool of magic.
Vow of Silence was a slick counter to the Dragonborn's magic.
A very slick
itself,
counter.
But it wouldn't last forever.
The Dragonborn was significantly faster, too. The chosen undead could dodge beams of light, sure, but Oriel's bow could fire arrows that move at least 250 times that.
But none of that mattered if the chosen undead couldn't stay dead.
You'd think the Dragonborn's anti-undead weaponry like Dawnbreaker would be an easy solution, but the undead of Dark Souls aren't really the same as Draugr from Skyrim.
Skyrim
Yeah.
undead are more like those classic reanimated skeletons. But remember the conspiracy. Humans in Dark Souls are naturally immortal. They're not actually undead.
Soul Tear wouldn't have been much use either, considering humans in Dark Souls can have their souls removed without dying.
Yeah.
So why didn't the chosen undead just keep coming back until they eventually won? Like with any Dark Souls boss.
One
The
word,
flame.
power. The
Or power.
Dragonborn had way more and greater feats of raw power than the chosen undead.
Oh yeah, like summoning country-spanning storms with a single shout, or defeating Mirak, who split a continent.
There's also the lore. Both characters are essentially mythological demigods in the same kind of vein as Hercules or Sun Wukong. Gameplay alone won't give you the best idea of their full power as characters.
So let's get an idea of their max potential from the lore.
The chosen undead sustaining the first flame with their soul was insanely impressive. Considering the first flame is responsible for the core concepts of the universe, like energy and time, it's not a stretch to say it affects not just the planet they live on, but the whole universe.
But that's nothing compared to the power levels in the Elder Scrolls.
Let's compare the first flame to Alduin. Both literally run on the power of souls, and both can be directly scaled to our combatants.
Alduin had strength to consume the universe, not just Nirn, but the Kalpa as well.
You know those planets you see in the sky?
Yeah.
According to cosmology, those are actually separate, infinitely big planes of reality.
The
Alduin
fuck?
was going to eat infinity. Multiple infinities.
In comparison, the
Multiple
first flame is powerful
infinities?
enough to sustain a universe and the flow of time. But it can't be infinite. Otherwise, it never would have faded to begin with.
And that meant the chosen undead just wasn't powerful enough no matter how many times they revived. With that much of a difference in power, the chosen undead would eventually lose their will to fight and go hollow. It's not traditional, but it is a form of death in Dark Souls. The chosen undead was surely tenacity personified, but still wasn't enough to stand up to the Dragonborn's incredible skill, broken arsenal, and overwhelming
Oh, so by
power.
destroying the flame, you
chosen
got him.
undead could only last
Okay.
so long before they flamed out.
The winner
Yeah.
is the Dragonborn.
I thought fucking Dovahkiin had died because he kind of looked dead on the ground, but okay. By extinguishing the flame with that shout, it was wraps for him. All right. Wow. That was insane. If y'all want to see more Death Battle on the channel, make sure y'all hit that like button, comment down below, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.